Just one more game to come at home after this for the Cowboys, so looking to make the most of home field advantage. Kira Dibb kicks things off, bends it towards that sideline, and a nice tidy bounce for the Sharks to bring that one back through Vanessa Foliaki. They won in their opening round, Cronulla. It was that win over Canberra at home, but no wins since then. Desperately need a victory if they want to get back in touch with the all-important top four, and here's Holly Wheeler.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to. They had a really good first 25 minutes last week, but they need to. They get a penalty out of trouble here. This will be a handy little pick up to start the game for the Sharks, but they need to find that full 70-minute performance, finish the half strong, and then come out firing.
Referee Belinda Sharp not happy with the work here of Mackenzie Wheel.
Yeah, she was locked in under the ball there, but a little bit of gamesmanship from the old head there, Holly Wheeler. Garners her team a penalty, and the Sharks are in excellent field position early.
And Wheeler again puts her hand up. Takes them just inside that red zone. Quincy Dodd is the dummy half. Short side here for Preston. Flat service for the dangerous Anessa Biddle. Fantastic player in the centres. Started the year on the wing. And now Preston goes to work. Johnston finds a way through, and Ellie has the opening try less than 90 seconds in. That is outstanding.
This one's all you, Roo. I saw you get up out of your seat. You love it.
I love it when a front rower scores, but you know what I think is most impressive about this movement here from the Sharks, we'll see it on the Harvey Norman replay. They get through their work really well. They're just running nice and direct to start this game. Punching hard. Ellie Johnston is so difficult to contain at the best of times, but when she's hitting the ball at pace, it was really well worked there by Taylor Preston as well, just engaging the defensive line and nice hard running to finishing off.
Well, the Sharks women would have known that they had a big task on their hands coming up against this strong Cowboys pack, and they've certainly made their first argument. We're here to play. A lovely line from Ellie Johnson, but it's off the back of a Cowboys error. They gifted them territory. This Shark side, there are absolutely no doubts in their attacking ability. So what you can't afford to gift them is this territory. But I think Rue said it perfectly to kick things off is the directness that they're playing with their attack. Very, very fast and sharp start from the Cronulla Sharks.
Dubbed the blonde thunderbolt from Warhope, but didn't she scatter them?
Is she?
Centre field.
Is that what she's been dubbed as? I'll tell her that. I don't think she knows.
That's what the local papers
I
say
love it.
In that part of the world.
I love it.
Hasn't she scored 2 brilliant tries this season? Think back to round 1 against Canberra when she ran about 40 metres. So Taylor Preston, relatively straightforward look. The Sharks lead it 6-0. So the Cowboys playing catch-up here. Sun, a bit of an issue on this take, but safely done by Tonegado, and the try scorer with her tail up takes them just outside the 20.
Yeah, she wants the first touch.
Oh, she's been rocked by that hitter. Was it April Napapuna came in with a very big shot. We know how dangerous April is with ball in hand, but defensively she's a weapon too.
The highs and lows of rugby league. They're checking on Ellie Johnston after this hit. Oof.
Nah, just heavy contact. Hopefully she's all right, but that is just big contact there.
Bree Chester playing on the right edge in that 16 jumper, one of the inclusions again today. Wheeler has been busy. That early penalty that she earned turned into first points. Now Preston, little grubber in behind, dangerous bouncing footy here, and it takes a Cowboys bounce for Stevens-Daly.
Oh, Stevens-Daly held her nerve well, didn't she? There was plenty of Sharks jerseys around, but the bounce was perfectly in her favour.
There's the left winger coming in for more work. Battled her own injuries so far this season. Stevens-Daly, looks like Johnston's okay. Gets involved in the tackle here. With Tale Holmes, who held Peters down for a long time. Tillett playing in the headgear. Gives it to Chester back on the angle. Shelley Long dropped out of the team named on Tuesday. In that right edge back row position. High ball here, tough one for Taylor, and coughed it up, double knock on. So the Cowboys will get great ball here.
Well, it was a great kick from Kira Dibb because she was under all sorts of pressure. The kick pressure, she got it away nice and high for Jada Taylor. Jada Taylor would have been looking into that sun, and the kick chase again. Shania Power, yep, it is right up in the face of young Jada Taylor, and now the Cowboys are set up in a great attacking position.
It's a tough one to try and diffuse in your first game since round one for Jada Taylor. Been troubled by that ankle injury ever since.
It's more the hoofbeats that you hear when the ball's up in the air and all you can see is sunlight.
Roy locked that scrum and went straight to Middleton. A good opportunity here for the home team to hit straight back. Nutapuna eyeing up Johnston and company. Both front rowers involved in the tackle for the Sharks. Now Dibb. The footwork of Kira Dibb. Important tackle by Johnston. And they'll get 6 more here. By Saunders playing in that number 13 jumper today.
Well, this is good possession and territory here for the Cowboys in their red zone. First time, they're starting to heap a lot of pressure. It was Dibb with that little bit of footwork. I think she stepped on the inside of Saunders there, and Saunders came back to try and knock the ball down and shut it down. But yet again, a midfield scrum. They've got this 4-2 split, 4 on the left.
Let's go. Head in, clock off. Stay there, Emma. Break!
Roy comes right this time for Peters, trying to get on the outside of Penatani. Good luck doing that. Penatani, such a rock-solid player at left centre. Harden was beaten all ends up by Johnston for that opening try. Now Dibb, little no-look element to that pass to Shania Power.
Yeah, I like the halves combining there, Tillett and Kira Dibb.
Karoy with purpose out of dummy half, trying to spin her way over, and Preston, very important the way she wrapped up the footy. Power has another go. Great goal line D here by the Sharks. And now the last for Dibb to Tillett. Crossfield kick is stylish. And Robinson just in the field of play. It's a great chase, and the ball comes out of the field of play, and they give that the benefit of the doubt. She seemed to have grounded that in the end goal.
She did ground that in the end goal. I think the referee and the touchy have missed a beat there.
The Sharks have scammed it.
Well, this will give them lots of confidence. The way they were able to turn them away there will give the Sharks plenty of confidence. Now they just need to travel downfield. We watched this on replay in this box. I think that's tackle completed. But play on.
You do that at the other end, trying to score a try. It's a double movement.
Well, we saw a penalty. Oh, mind you, it wasn't called held, but we saw a penalty last week, something similar.
Preston from inside the 40. Able to get it through the line. Nice hands from Goldthorpe. Got a shocking bounce. And the young lady out of England made it work.
Well, she's kept her first couple of kicks quite low. Rangy grubber kicks, Taylor Preston.
Well, I think Speedy was talking pre-game that the wind is supposed to be gusting at 30 k's an hour from the south. So whether that's playing havoc for the kickers and the fullbacks.
Doesn't look like
It
spectacular.
didn't look too bad when we saw it go up in the air earlier, did it?
Yeah, beautiful August weather though, isn't it, in Townsville? Humidity's low, temperatures in the mid-20s.
I could easily winter in Townsville. I say it every time. I love it.
Dibb had the ball with 2 hands and opens them up. The support a little late in arriving. Tillett was trying to get there. And now on the last. Out in front of the centre, Peters trying to crash her way over, and the Sharks have really defended their try line well.
Well, they did very well there, the Sharks. The winger was open, trying to pull her if she sort of held her wing, and they tipped it on. But even Kira Dibb, there's a couple of times where she's broke through that first line of defence, close to the line. If she had tipped it on to Tallulah Tillett, I think they would have found themselves at least 4 points there, the Cowboys. So two very evenly matched sides. They're both creating opportunities. The Cowboys yet to capitalise off the back of it, but great defence from the Sharks.
Cronulla know you can't rest on your laurels against these Cowboys. They were down 10-4 at half-time last week. Finished all over the West Tigers down in Brisbane. Wheels giving away another penalty here, 2 in the tackle. And the strip was executed.
Oh, Ben Jeffries will be disappointed with that one. It was very clear that there was 2 people in the tackle. And she just couldn't help herself there. Couldn't help herself. Went for the strip there. But again, the Sharks, massive shot. Koroi down low on Ellie Johnston again.
Koroi getting the start today in the 14 jumper for the first time. Manzelmann dropped back to the bench. She'll be dangerous off the bench as well as the dummy half option.
She's on. She's on now. So that's an early change. I think it's April Ngapapuna might be off.
Yes, a look at that shot. Koroi stopping Johnston, the try scorer.
R.I.P. ribs.
Release! Get square, wait!
She's copped some blows after scoring that early meat pie. Johnston. Holmes, nice lateral mover. Got through the tackle of Chester, but there was plenty of backup. Manzelmann not giving away the penalty as the referee explained that decision.
It's a nice kick from Taylor Preston, but not enough kick pressure. They sort of took the first few steps and then just happy to sit back on their heels and wait. So an easy catch to start the set for the Cowboys.
Good post-contact meters there from Mia Middleton. That right knee heavily strapped, and here's China Palata.
And she's one you have to keep an eye on. She gets some footwork happening through the middle, she'll carve you up.
And Manzelmann does adopt the dummy half responsibilities, with Koroi shifting into a different role now.
There's a lot of movement in this Cowboys side, Roo. We see China Palata sometimes come in the middle.
Yeah, sometimes the edge as well.
Koroi moves around. It creates headaches for that defensive line when they're moving around so much.
13 and 9.
Hung up here by Dibb. Another test for Taylor, the son, a big issue, and adjusted nicely there.
Very, very smart kicking game here. Again, lack of kick pressure from the Sharks on the kicker there. Kira Dibb, you pretty much know she's your main indicator. She's always going to put up that big bomb, so you need to get some line speed on her, but she's actually placing them really well to start this game.
And Atani trying to bust them. Good play the ball. Dodd got what she wanted. Oh, look out, China Palata! Buries her opponent. She can play in the front row. She's out there on the right wing, and you better look out.
There's my idea of a nightmare. Someone who moves that quickly and can hit that hard. Look at this shot. This is going to be a great angle. Tale Holmes thought she was in, and it was a big left shoulder. But again, a lovely kick off the back, though, Fergo, from Taylor Preston.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Taylor Preston's kicking game this season. She's obviously been working on it a lot. She's got good variation in the way that she finds the boot. Great kick meters, too.
And Palata would often rotate somewhere else in the team when Naikore would come onto the wing, but Naikore dropped out of the 17 today, so Palata might stay on the right wing throughout the 70 minutes. We'll wait and see. Harden at full speed, chopped down by Dodd. Now Power. Preston up to meet her. Defence by Cronulla. Feature of the opening 13 minutes here. Did from inside the 40, off the outside of the boot a little. Nice aggressive play by Robinson, happy to take that on the full.
Yeah, really well done by Robinson, very safe. She had good leg speed to get there, so she had plenty of time to catch it.
Here goes Penatani out of dummy half, and the Cowboys coach, Ben Jeffries, good enough to join us now. Your team was so close to hitting back there, Ben, a moment ago. What have you made at the start?
Yeah, probably not the start we wanted. Obviously, they've scored a try early, but we've sort of got ourselves into the grind. We just need to keep banging the door down, and high completion rate in this weather is critical.
Ben, we've seen Tallulah Tillett and Kira Dibb combine a little bit more when you're in good ball, attacking the line.
Yeah, that obviously being our 6 and 7, they're just watching the ball go dead. Yeah, they've been combining well, obviously at training. They played together last week and had a few combinations there in through the All-Stars. But yeah, ideally when we get into good ball, for them to link up as many times as possible would be good for us.
BJ, early change, April Ngatapuna off, no injuries there, just a straight interchange?
Yeah, by all results, it was just she got a stinger, but that was the early interchange. What was going to happen. We were going to bring Emma on early, once 10 minutes passed anyway.
Thanks for your time. Good luck.
No worries. Thank you.
Good to hear from Ben Jeffries mid-game. Very cool customer.
Pretty calm, given they're about to defend their line.
He was a little anxious. It all paused when that ball squirmed into the end goal, but it went dead. So they got it back via the line dropout. There's a look inside the Westpac red zone.
Jasmine Peters came up with a brilliant tackle in the Westpac red zone there. She had to. Jada Taylor was scheming on that short edge.
Sharks are trailing in terms of play. The ball's inside the attacking 20, but they lead where it counts. After that early converted try. Saunders uses a decoy. Here comes Tonagato! And scores! So dangerous attacking on that left edge. And she's carved them up again.
She has. It's the timing of Emma Tonagato that makes her so dangerous. Well, that and the pace. She's outstanding, but as you can see here on the Harvey Norman replay, I think Quincy Dodd's done a wonderful job so far in this first half. Just calls a player under, but gives the footy to Emma Tonagato with plenty of time and space. That's when she can use her speed and her footwork and take on exactly the right attacking hole. She had the footy in two hands to break through that first line, and then sheer determination and foot speed to get it over. But the Sharks, Roo, they've been up here a couple of times. They've been able to leave with points. Pretty good start.
Certainly is, and I think the Harvey Norman replay showed it really well. How many times have we seen that? You give Emma Tonagato the ball in that Westpac red zone, she comes up with points, 70, 80% of the time. And the direct nature that the Sharks have started this game with as well has really helped to unlock those edges and give them more breathing space and opportunity. And here, anytime you get her one-on-one, she's pretty much going to win that contest. And Tallulah Tillett did very well to try and hang on, but too strong, too quick, too good on her feet.
If the fullback had her time again, would she have just focused on Tonagato? Looked like she was reflecting on where a pass might be going.
Well, there were a couple of Sharks jerseys lurking around for an offload, but you must play the ball first. Yeah, I think time again she'd look at that, but again you're making split-second decisions.
We saw just prior to that try the Westpac red zone play the balls. Cowboys had a lot more chances, but the Sharks able to capitalise.
Seventh career try for Emma Tonagato, the Olympic gold medalist from 2016 in Rugby Sevens. And one of the stars of the NRLW. So to Penatani. Tale Holmes running away from China Pilata, and that's a good read.
Smart decision.
After copying the treatment earlier on. Johnston, close range receive from Quincy Dodd.
I think she wanted to come back under her then.
Oh! And Dodd almost throwing back-to-back hospital passes there.
Well, Jessica Reeves is on the field, and watch her with ball in hand as well. She is a weapon.
Yeah, just the second game, debuted last week with 36 impressive minutes. Playing in the 21 jumper today, late inclusion. Preston's kick, tumbling away, takes a Sharks bounce. And Stevens Daly forced to play at it. And they'll get a repeat set, Cronulla. That's a bonus.
The bounce of the ball then was revolting
That is so
for the
cool.
Cowboys. They looked a little bit unorganised that set, the Sharks, but that kick away just goes to show how dangerous a kicking game really can be. They had a good kick chase. They were up there with that wobbly bounce, but gosh, unlucky.
Gee, she hit the deck hard too. And she's still down receiving treatment. I hope she's all right.
Okay,
The whiplash kind of thing, or just the leg injury?
I think she's having the leg looked at, but just watching the way she whipped into the ground there, that looked deeply uncomfortable. She's pretty tough.
Okay, stay behind.
He was named in the first 2 rounds, but wasn't able to get up to play on game day. So, some lingering issues with that leg strapped. They defend with 12 right now, the Cowboys. See whether Cronulla look to expose them early on here.
Time off. Tackle 1 with Ellie.
It's a HIA number 5.
Yeah,
So it's a whiplash.
that doesn't
Head
surprise
slamming
me.
into the turf.
Yeah, you called it early there, Speedy. It even looked even worse in slow-mo, watching it back. So hopefully she'll be cleared to return. She is very much a strike weapon for the Cowboys, but not carrying Naikore on the bench now is going to be a really tough ask for the Cowboys.
So Middleton shifts out to the wing. They all move out one position to accommodate Ralph Strand-Smith as the replacement player for this one, so she'll go in the middle.
Wait, go 1.
And Power going out to play in the centres now. Saunders threatening to open the Cowboys up through the middle again, just as they were exposed for that opening try.
Emma, go 2.
Preston. Pass hits the deck, but it works out just fine. Here's the debutant, Ravix! What a moment! Welcome to the NRLW, Georgia Ravix. The 29-year-old has a try to save her.
She didn't have much room to work with down that right touch line, and you can just see how happy her teammates are for her. This is a wonderful finish because it was very late ball. The Harvey Norman replay again shows the ball goes to ground. Biddle does very, very well to offload that. Big pressure coming through from Fran Goldthorpe. Try for the Sharkies.
So Georgia Ravix, a try scorer on debut, and wasn't that clever attacking play because Stephen Staley had just gone off.
Yeah, it was very clever to go there and to go there quickly too. That's Taylor Preston, the experience of her. She would have loved to have taken that pass again, but the right idea to sort of pounce with the reshuffle. Shania Power moved into that centre position. But I tell you what, she had a lot of work to still get the job done and go over there. She did brilliantly. A nice little pass from Biddle. She's been one of my favourites this season, but outstanding finish from the debutant.
And she was the top try scorer for the Bulldogs in the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership. It's as though the Sharks players just thought, well, give it to Georgia Ravix. She'll score. They sort of started their celebrations pretty early there. They were very confident.
She knows, I said this in pre-game, she knows her way to the try line, so why wouldn't you? She's strong.
Oh, what a kick.
Yes.
Taylor Preston. The smile off her face, understandably so. Talented lady off the field as well. Justin Bieber came down under. She worked on that concert tour, worked on the Manchester United tour down under, works as the head of retail and at the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs Club. And on the weekends just scores tries.
The Sharks have made a few changes as well. Brooke Anderson on the field. Looks like Ellie Johnston is taking a spell.
A well-earned spell. Wheeler continues. Another starting front rower. Sarika Muka on in the number 19 jumper. Gets involved in back-to-back tackles there, and they need a lift right now, and she can provide it.
Well, Reeves has had to make 3 tackles in a row, so this is quite smart from the Sharks, trying to work her over.
Sharks chasing the clock early on, 18-0. What a dream start for the visitors here in Townsville. And Cronulla just loving their trips north at the moment, the men's team, with the shock upset convincingly last night here.
How good. How good was that? Been a diehard Sharkies fan since I could breathe. Feeling confident again, I tell you what. Isn't it funny how quickly the narrative can change?
Here's Power. Shifting out that one position.
Look at this tackle. Vanessa Foliaki, textbook, up and under.
Body on the line stuff there from Brooke Anderson.
Nice two pass.
Got it out to Tillett from just inside the 40. No pressure on her kick. Oh, what about that? Jada Taylor, the trap between the legs, if you don't mind.
She can do anything. That was magic. I'd love to see a replay of that. It bounced up absolutely perfectly. Trapped it.
And for my next trick.
Yeah.
Wait. There's a flop, and then you're too long on there. Just back on the mark. Yeah.
Well, again, the Sharks earning a midfield penalty, getting themselves into early good position early.
We talked to Ben Jeffries earlier on that completion rate and maintaining possession for as long as possible was a key. They're giving Cronulla all of the ball with these penalties and playing catch-up. It's a long road back today for the Cowboys. Tonegado sweeping around the fullback Taylor. Straighten things up nicely. Oh, big gap opening up here for Saunders. Try saver from Goldthorpe. Just tripped her up. Allowing the support to get there in time, but it's still on here.
Great play today.
And there is the fourth try unanswered from the Cronulla Sharks. Brooke Anderson now off the bench, and what a weapon she is.
It was a beautiful finish by Brooke. What impressed me most about that, though, is the setup play. Prior to this one on the Harvey Norman replay, we're just seeing the last bit where Saunders makes great line break. Fran Goldthorpe does so well, and she's only taken the last minute. But look at this quick play the ball. This is what does it for me. She doesn't fight, she doesn't go to ground, and then Quincy Dodd, great presence of mind to just pick up that lead runner for the Sharks.
Yeah, you could see Taylor Preston in there telling her players to hurry up, telling Saunders, get up, play the ball. But Brooke Anderson, what a player. She's been outstanding for the Cronulla Sharks. She's played lock, she can get in and play hooker. She's come off the bench into the front row, but that footwork, she's such a dangerous player. She's playing front row at the moment, but there are so many different positions that she can come in and have impact and fill. A great utility, but just does her job so well. She was set nice and early. Lovely late footwork. Outstanding from the Cronulla Sharks.
Sometimes you need to drop a player like this back to the bench to make the team better. I see
impact.
Anderson as one of the 4 interchange players, and it makes the Sharks look better for mine.
Yeah, it's all about impact. And last week we saw the Sharks trial it. They brought Quincy Dodd off the bench as well for that impact. So the best thing about having players that can play multiple positions, especially in the middle, is that you're not set in that position. Everybody plays that middle role, and she does that beautifully.
Going at nearly a point a minute, the Sharks. The unpredictability of the NRLW. This is the team second last on the ladder after 4 rounds playing like this.
Yeah, well, they had to come up here and have a win, the Sharks. It's a short competition. But they've turned up willing. They dug in nice and early. They defended their line brilliantly. What a shot. But they've been willing to play some football. I think they've done a great job at tiring out the Cowboys. Footy in hand, they've had a couple of great kicks as well. But just playing clever, expansive and damaging football, the Sharks.
Well, the live ladder takes the Sharks up to 7th. Obviously, there's still plenty of time left in this game, but I like the direct nature that the Sharks are playing with today, and the Cowboys need to hang on.
That's their for and against back into the positive right now as well, and puts them ahead of the Cowboys on that live ladder as Tale Holmes. She ran back into another dangerous tackler in Reeves. Off that right foot step. Now Tonagato scouting right. Oh, lovely pass. What about the angle from Foliaki? And that was the right idea, but just missed Holly Wheeler.
Geez, Mooka did well. She kept her feet. April Naktapunua is going to come back on. She's massive impact 10 minutes before half-time. The Sharks are going to have to be very careful.
Wheeler was hunting the strip and Power ran away from her.
Yeah, they need someone like Shania Power, a little bit of impact. They've made double the amount of tackles at the moment, the Cowboys. So plenty of fatigue.
After a tough opening stint, giving away a couple of penalties, Mackenzie Wheel takes a break.
Just have a look at possession. You know, Fergo, you spoke about the tackles. It's 65-35 at the moment. No wonder the Cowboys are having to make the interchanges they are.
Tillett. Oh, what a step! Dazzling from Jazzy Peters. Now lines up the fullback, and they won't catch her. The North Queensland Cowboys find the inspiration from Jazzy Peters. What an athlete!
Inspiring, all right. That was sensational. They came out to this right edge. Tallulah Tillett. This is her second game in the NRLW this year, and the key was finding her the ball earlier on in the set when she could attack. But that footwork on Emma Tonagato, one of the fastest players in the game, so too Jada Taylor, an outstanding finish. I still think they need to credit Shania Power to get them on the front foot here, but it's the early ball to Tallulah Tillett. She's such a dangerous ball-playing, attacking weapon for the Cowboys. And I tell you what, she knew the strike weapon to come in and find.
Yeah, it was a lovely pass as well from Manzelman out of dummy half. It actually cut out 2 or 3 Sharks defenders. So that got the ball to Tillett with plenty of space. And then that angled run from Peters was absolutely magic. We don't usually see Jada Taylor get beat for pace. Look at this here. Just takes that line on, squares up a little bit, that bang off the right foot, and then she just pinned the ears back. She was going for it. It was all or broke.
It's one of the great right foot steps you'll ever see in rugby league. Jazzy Peters, dazzling footwork. And they need to go up in sixes playing catch up. Dibb nails it. Wonderful athlete, Jazzy Peters. Runs like an Olympic sprinter. Boy, did her team need that converted try after copping the first 24 points unanswered, and April Natapuna, a real handful. Manzelman, footwork on display again. That time, Tonagato nailed the tackle.
But you're going to see this time and time again from the Cowboys. When April does a massive hit up like that, Manzelman finds her front, gets on the front foot and plays that really fast style footy.
Could play the ball on offer here for Mooka. Come back to Dibb, centre field. Tillett again with depth. This time Goldthorpe chimes in. Another important tackle made by Tonagato. Approaching half-time, and the Cowboys find some more points. Knocked backwards by Preston and tidied up by Rabbits.
Tell you what a set of 6 after points here from the Cowboys. Now, if they can maintain their discipline and increase their line speed defensively, they'll start turning the screws on the Sharks.
It's a good offload from Jada Taylor.
Playing catch up in their 2 wins so far this season, North Queensland as well. Think back to Belmore round 2 when they upset Newcastle 31-20. And then last week, it's the West Tigers down in Brisbane in that doubleheader. 5 minutes before the break. And aren't they winning the penalty count, the visitors?
Well, you heard Belinda Sharp call out both markers saying you're not square, and Brooke Anderson, who is a very, very smart football player, heard it too and takes them on. And that's what you have to do in these positions. But it was Muka that played at the ball there and gave away a penalty.
Well, Butler in the headgear, trademark. Going with the pink headgear today. Nice service again for Preston. A little clunky left-hand side, so Preston happy to take the tackle.
Missing their assignments for the Sharks there. Taylor Preston caught on the left in a play the ball.
Now Tonegado set up for Taylor. Oh, fullback on fullback. Goldthorpe a little slow to get up. Kick in behind, clearly played at, so a fresh set for Tonegado, and they immediately go right, and that's knocked on by Biddle, I think.
Well, if it wasn't, it was knocked on by Ravix in the second effort. So great scramble here for the Cowboys. We haven't seen whether Autumn Rain-Stevens is going to be able to come back to the field yet. They're just making do on the left, and they get a penalty. Here, there she is.
Oh, there she
on the
is.
side,
Right
there it
cue.
is.
That was huge from the Cowboys. That defensive scramble and pressure. The Sharks had a full set of 6 there that they wasted, but that was all the Cowboys. Ever since they got that last try, their intensity has lifted. They had a great set of 6, great scramble and intensity in defence.
You only need to give them a sniff, this team. They only need a sniff. They've got plenty of strike. So Muka comes off. Autumn Rain-Stevens goes back on to her left wing. So that'll get back to its correct positioning. And it looks like Vanessa Foliaki is down receiving some treatment for a cut.
How important is this little phase before half-time, and who's rallying the troops out there for Cronulla, because they need to try and maintain this margin if they can.
Well, Brooke Anderson is playing at 9, so Quincy Dodd is off. She'll be needing to make sure that her middles hit their assignments, and then obviously their halves are going to have to become very, very vocal. There's only 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes before halftime.
The 2023 NRL and NRLW Telstra Premiership Grand Finals have been confirmed to take place at Accor Stadium on Sunday, October 1. You can witness unpredictable footy, individual brilliance and an atmosphere like no other, as each team attempts to capture real glory. Tickets are on sale now at nrl.com/tickets. Right to go again with Foliaki patched up. It's Ralph Strand-Smith who came on when Stevens-Daly was forced off initially. Oh, good run. Front rowers combined there. Reeves for Natapuna. Cowboys rolling. Tillett for Dibb. Outside players were behind her, and Dibb paid the price as Butler whacked her over the top. Confidence Reeves plays with. It's the second game in the big time.
I was impressed with her last week. And then just see her get into the arm wrestle today and then come up with some really big plays. Oh, magic, just like that was.
Tillett throwing it in the air briefly, but snatching it for herself. Now Peters, the try scorer. A touch off the Sharks, perhaps. How does the touchy see it?
It'll be a Cowboys ball here. Oh, no.
Now, I'm not sure whether there was a touch or not.
Maybe she played at her arm. The way it came out, I thought it came off a Shark. No, this is this break.
Oh, yeah, that was beast.
I love that.
Back here.
Another one of those bang-bang plays goes in favour of the Sharks. Biddle.
Let go now!
So full of run meters week in, week out. Gets a quick play the ball. No markers at all for the Cowboys. And Preston keeps it alive. Knock back, knock on, they say. So here's the lifeline for the Cowboys before the break.
Well, they've given the Cowboys a couple of these opportunities. They threw away that set of 6 attacking their line, and now off the back of some great defence, miscommunication, the idea of an offload from Taylor Preston was right, but the Sharks, they weren't on the same page. They were getting ready for their next efforts.
I think it's sorry, Fergus. It's one of those times where if you see that, you just got to take the tackle. You just take the tackle, get up quickly, play the ball, and then give them some shape off the back of it there. They've just put themselves under some pressure here.
Biddle was convinced there was no knock on there. Captain's challenge may have been interesting, but it's Cowboys ball now. One full set before the siren sounds. Chester. Held call stopped her getting really dumped. Manzelman goes back to the open side for Tillett. Important tackle. 3 players there to try and slow down Natapuna.
He just hung onto it too.
Now we're trying to get on the outside of Preston. Again, the footy locked up successfully. Oh, trying to force an offload. That's knocked back by Preston. And Cronulla hold up defensively once more.
Now, the idea is good there from the Cowboys. Trying to get Shania Power one-on-one with Taylor Preston is very, very smart, but she just tried to force her hand there. Again, that's another situation where I think you just want to take that to ground, play quickly, get them some shape off the back.
So Cronulla out of the gates so quickly today with that 24-0 lead. Cowboys have had a bit better of it in the last 10 minutes or so, but at half-time, it's Cronulla 24, the Cowboys 6. Welcome back to Townsville. The home team playing catch-up here, trailing by 18 points right now. The start of the second 35-minute period here. And they'll start with ball in hand as Power calls out her name. They do have some momentum after the way they finished in that first half. And Reeves helped provide some of that drive in the middle. Strong running.
Great run.
Now Strand-Smith provided it, and now Natapuna off the back of it. Putting some footwork on and slipping through a couple of tackles. April Natapuna. Now Strand-Smith again. So one out stuff pretty much by the Cowboys, but a chance for an attacking kick. What can Deb do with it? Stabs it in behind the winger, and it's a little too heavy.
Well, I think this is their go-to, their power play through the middle for the Cowboys. That's where they're strongest. So if they get back to what they do well in that arm wrestle, just punching it up through the middle, that is their strength. So they're going to want to make sure they do that, but then on the flip side, discipline is what really hurt them in the first half. Alana, you spoke about that at half-time. I imagine the message from Ben Jeffries would have been very much centred around that.
Yeah, you'd think so. The penalty count was 4-1, just gifting the Cronulla Sharks opportunities. But they've looked really dangerous, the Cowboys, when they've been in some attacking positions. So, yes, I think punching through the middle and getting territory is important, but I really like the look of their shape when the two halves combine. Tallulah Tillett and Kira Dibb. The Sharks, they're on the attack here.
Tonegato kept her feet throughout and allowed to push that very late offload. So only midway through the tackle count here. And fresh legs in the middle. Tegan Dimmick just into the ball game.
This is a really good set of 6 here from the Sharks. Look out left.
Out in front of Penatani. It didn't pass to her winger. Did so eventually. Surely forward to Robinson.
Forward. Oh, that was forward. That was great contact, though.
I reckon that's why she didn't throw the initial pass, because Robinson was in front of her. Now on the last, Dimmick gets out of the way. Anderson trying to make something happen. Good-looking kick.
Great weight.
Stevens-Daly able to take it in the in goal.
Yeah, she did well, but that's another example of how versatile Brooke Anderson can be with that little grubber kick, that attacking kick. She had the perfect amount of weight on it. And it's just pinned this Cowboys side, making it really tricky for them to get out of their own half.
Strong defence by Saunders, who ran for over 100 metres in the first half as well. Under the radar a little, but you can see why she's been named as the starting lock.
It's a good play, the ball there from China Palata.
Oh,
Almost the offload there by Tallulah Tillett.
Found an angle somehow, and Natapuna good enough to tidy up. Crowd getting involved here. Trying to get a penalty late in the count. There's nothing forthcoming. They got smashed in the penalty count in that first half, the Cowboys. Reads 4-1 right now in favour of the Sharks, the penalty count. Manzelman slowing down the play the ball. Tonegado and Penatani, that combination, and this time Tale Holmes playing out on the wing. Knew she needed a speedster, and Tonegado was
what a
there.
tackle.
Great footy.
Goldthorpe with a try-saver effectively, and then her work from marker was effective, but it found a teammate who was offside.
She's offside.
And she also touched it there.
It was Pilata still getting back on side.
It's unfortunate, but she's offside.
Well, there you go. You hear it from Melinda Sharp. It was a great break down the left there. I thought Tonegado was away there. She sort of second-guessed herself, and then that lovely cover tackle by Fran Goldthorpe. And she worked well out of marker here to try and shut Jada Taylor down.
She's been so good for the Cowboys.
So good.
The last couple of weeks, she's already saved bare minimum 2 tries this game. One on the line and that one on Emma Tonegado.
Waiting.
They'll do well to hold them out here, though. Starting this set 20 metres out. They enter the Westpac red zone through Tegan Dimmick.
Okay, Bree. Give space now. April, wait.
Anderson now the dummy half. Short side for Tonegado. Nice tackle, Bree Chester, before Natapuna came in over the top. Preston out in front of Foliaki, who got patched up in that first half after the cut. Oh, Butler, tough to stop in this situation, and the Cowboys did.
April Natapuna putting her body on the line. She's had done some travelling to start off this second half.
Shocking pass. Preston had to let it go. It sat up for Tonegado. Penatani v. Peters. That right side defence for the Cowboys being tested, and they're up to the challenge right now. Preston, little kick in behind. Nice bounce for Dib.
She positioned herself really, really well then, because she noticed that her fullback was having to do some travelling of her own there. Really great defence from the Cowboys. This will give them plenty of confidence.
Yeah, it will. They looked very comfortable in defence just then. The Sharks were moving the ball, but not necessarily their feet. They were quite often standing still, catching and passing.
Fran Goldthorpe down, requiring some treatment right now after her body got bent out of shape here.
Just heavy contact. And that leg looks like it got stuck in the turf on the way through.
Biddle sort of fell into her body as well, really jamming down there. Perfectly entitled to do so, of course. The NRLW season is back bigger and better this year. Witness Real Power and Unreal Passion live. You don't want to miss these epic contests. Head to nrl.com/tickets to secure your seats today. NRL Women's Telstra Premiership. Real Power, Unreal Passion. Goldthorpe telling Biddle she's okay now, just the shock of it all initially perhaps. A little flat-footed here, the Cowboys, and they wanted more purpose out of yardage. Their coach Ben Jeffries was preaching that at half-time. Here's some go forward from Reeves, and the tackle slipped a little high by Butler. Just okay.
I thought she was going to get pulled up for that one. Oh,
interesting kicking style from Ralph Smith, who got the shout that it was the last.
Well, that's the halves' fault for not getting in there and getting the footy. Miscommunication. That's the first and hopefully the last time we see her kick the footy. But they're under a lot of pressure now, the Cowboys. They didn't make nearly enough ground that set, and the Sharks are on the attack.
Looked like she kicked off the wrong leg. Manzelman again effective in slowing down the play the ball. Saunders, now Preston off the back of it. Taylor throws the dummy, opens them up. What about the in and away? Not a hand laid on her. Jada Taylor, what a mover.
Wow. I think the Harvey Norman replay is going to show this beautifully for us. But Jada Taylor, we saw her in the first half looking a little tentative on that ankle, unsure whether she'd be able to test it out. But here, in full flight, magic. It's a really good position here from the Sharks to play from, right from the black dot, right between the posts. And it's just her pace there. She gets the ball on, pushing on the outside by Taylor Preston. who plays nice and square into the line there. And look at her pace here, Fergo, and this little shimmy shake at the end. That was beautiful for Jada Taylor.
It was really clever from Jada Taylor because she identified that the defensive combination between Middleton and Kira Dibb, they were disjointed. So I'm not sure that it was her first thought to actually break through the line that way, but she could see that they weren't connected, and then that's when her footwork and her speed comes in. You'll get a really good look at it here. You have a look at the 7 and the 4. They should be working really nicely together, but they weren't connected there. Jada Taylor said, you know what, I've got my feet here, my pace, and then to finish it off again with that last little bit of footwork. That was all class.
Especially when you've got that threat of Anessa Biddle on the outside there. You could see Mia Middleton was really looking and sweating on her. And Jada Taylor, this is what a good footballer does. This is what, when you hear people talk about eyes up footy, that's what eyes up footy looks like. It's identifying what the defence are doing, knowing your strengths and how to take them on.
That's Taylor's first try as a Shark. Previous came as a Rooster. And it's waved away here by the Touchies. Taylor Preston trying to equal the record for the most goals in an NRLW game, which stands at 5. Don't forget, it's a triple-header today. Next up, we're off to Combank Stadium. The West Tigers, the home team, against the Dragons. What are you expecting in this one?
I reckon it'll be a pretty close game, actually. The big inclusion for the Tigers is Bovete Welsh, their captain at fullback, but she'll cause all sorts of dramas for that Dragons defence. They'll both desperately want to come out and have a big win, a big performance for their clubs. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this contest.
Yeah, me too. And after I was hyping up Lasana Lutu's return, she's been ruled out with that niggling knee injury. So I have to wait one more week till I get to see her back in action.
Yeah, she should be right for the next encounter for the West Tigers.
I feel like I'm her hype girl. I just hype her up. Every time I see her name or hear her name, I'm like, Lasana Lutu! She's fabulous.
She'll be back against the Roosters. Penatani, what about this performance by the Sharks to be blowing out the Cowboys at their home ground here? And you bring Wheeler back on for stint number 2. The ball came loose here, though. Ranselman creating the error.
Well, this is a great opportunity here for the Cowboys. They can sort of stymie this run that the Sharks have been on. It was definitely lost there. I don't think it was played at.
Got a captain's challenge from Cronulla. On-field decision is loose carry, just making a tackle. Coming into 3.
You watch, this will make me eat my words.
It's actually Reeves over the top here. But, yeah, you're right,
No,
first time.
That was loose. Can't be wrong twice. That'll kill me.
Holly Wheeler, very optimistic, thinking she'll get that ball back.
Unsuccessful.
This is a bit of a danger period now for the Cronulla Sharks because we've seen the Cowboys claw their way back into contest. We've spoken about it a couple of times throughout this call, how dangerous they can be. When they're in sync, when they connect and make meters through the middle to play off the back of, they can be a very dangerous football side.
Oldthorpe didn't stand a chance when Jada Taylor was in open field for that last try. Wheel back for her second stint as well.
She's come on for April Natapuna, so I think she's going to be key for them in this second half, especially as more fatigue creeps in.
Reeves carrying it in 2 hands.
Great run. Well, carrying it in 2 hands made those 3 defenders come up.
Now Dibb subtly in the pass for Chester. Holmes and Tomicato stopped her, but they're rolling here, the Cowboys. Wheel, who ran for 160+ metres last week, almost fell over. Just held up over the line on her back in the end.
No, they were rolling, but I think they went the wrong way. They went back to the middle when they should have gone out to their right edge. There was only 3 Sharks defenders covering that whole half of the field.
And now, from 10 out, it is the last for Tillett. Lovely cutout ball. There's that right foot step from Peters. Can't keep it alive, though. Tale Holmes, outstanding defensive work.
Defensively, Ruan, that set from the Cronulla Sharks. Oh no, Jasmine Peters is in a bit of strife here. But that was a wonderful defensive period for the Sharks to hold them out.
It certainly was. I think they've shown a lot more intent this week, especially on their own goal line, which is
in pre-season and then during the season.
4. Every day that they train, they'll do. Some might do 5. There might be someone like Samaima Torfa who actually likes to do a little lift pre-game.
She'd do
She'd
7
lift
days
7 days a week if you let her.
She's a freak.
She'd lift twice a day, 7 days a week if you let her.
Oh, that was a great run by Taylor Preston.
Anderson, nice service for Johnston. The post-contact meters there by the front rower who opened the scoring today, set the tone for this Sharks ambush in North Queensland. Tonegata, left side attack again. Taylor, look at the footwork again from the fullback, and there's support, Tonegata. But an obstruction, she ran behind a teammate or two.
Oh, there you go. It did look too easy in real time, but then I thought Jade is pretty quick. But Belinda has picked it up.
She got it right.
Oh, yeah,
Tale
Tale
Holmes.
Holmes gets in between her and Emma Manzelman.
Yeah, it was okay initially, but then the nudge of the shoulder.
But that combination between Jada Taylor and Emma Tonegata, we've seen it threaten this Cowboys side a couple of times in today's game, but that throughout the rest of the season is going to be such a danger, such a headache for teams to stop.
Jeez, what a touch finder. You see that?
Yeah.
As a middle forward, I'm saying thank you.
Hang on, time on.
Thank you.
Up towards halfway it went.
Time on. When you're ready.
23 minutes remaining, trailing by 22. Only a special comeback if the Cowboys can pull it off this week. Wheel moving it on to Ralph Strand-Smith and go forward eventually provided by Reeves.
Held. Set up, Vanessa. Wait here. Hold.
The halves combining again. Chester, pass hits the deck, but Peters chimed in eventually. Concern for Tonegata.
She's hobbling back into the line, just clutching the right hip there.
Maybe just the corky. Manzelman, dangerous in this situation, finds her front for the quick play of the ball. Ralph Strand-Smith. What a run that is out of dummy half. Rocked in the end by Johnston, but keeps it alive for Manzelman, and there has to be space now. Wheel tried to straighten things up. The halves again, stylish. Oh, no look.
She's going to do it herself.
Kira did, not grounded, but the second
close.
crack from Biddle.
Well, that was an exceptional set of 6 from the Cowboys. Kira Dibb got in there on the second and said, you know what, we're going to play some footy here out the right side of the ruck. Then they had a couple of really nice direct runs through the middle. Kira Dibb gets her hands on the footy. And that nice little kick chase, while she didn't get points, they get another crack. But good signs from the Cowboys that they're using to look the footy a little bit more, because it tired out the Sharks' defence and they looked very dangerous.
That is some skill to go no-look kick. Some players miss their boot when they're looking at the footy. Kira Dibb has it all. What can they do with the repeat set here? The home team. Ralph Strand-Smith getting busy.
She's warming into the task today. I think that previous run she did in the last set of 6 really got that go forward happening for the Cowboys.
Set up for Will. It got smashed by Johnston. Right in her blind spot. Tillett, the subtlety in the pass, but Cronulla's defence has been brilliant today. Just the one try they've copped. Late in the count now for the halves to go to work again. Depth here from Goldthorpe. Overlap created. Stevens-Daly has to take on one. Preston able to take her down. And Stevens-Daly is sore again. The other knee this time.
Immediate concern shown by Taylor Preston there for Autumn Rain Stevens, clutching at her left knee. We might get a better view of this on replay.
That's not good. That's not good.
Spriggs have got stuck in the ground there, and the body weight, combined body weight coming over the top has put it into a very distressing angle.
She was in distress. I think you could hear the sobbing from our effects microphone. Such concern here for Stevens Daly.
Such a wonderful footballer. There'll be plenty of people devastated by the looks of that. Stevens Daly, fingers crossed, everything crossed that it's not worst case scenario.
Doesn't look good. The NRL community is uniting for Daniel Anderson this week across the NRL and NRLW. A special online auction is underway at fanplus.com with signed and worn jerseys as well as other exclusive items up for grabs. The NRL is calling on fans to rally and support this great cause. Place your bid in the auction now or head to danielandersonfund.com.au to donate. Stevens Daly will be able to continue, and let's hope it's not the dreaded ACL. Alicia Harden ready to come back on.
Yeah, I don't see how she'd be able to continue playing here, and that would then mean another left edge reshuffle for the Cowboys.
Don't forget, this is game one of a triple header. It was an early start today. Up next, the Tigers against the Dragons. That's from Combank Stadium. And then a third different venue as the Roosters. How good are they looking against the Titans, who made that sensational start to the season? And then the NRL Saturday night footy for you. Melbourne Storm just cranking things up against the Dragons. 4 games of rugby league, live and free on Nine's Wide World of Sports. And we wish Autumn Rain Stevens Daly well, recovering from this knee injury.
Wait! Go last.
Dib again, just taking a Cronulla bounce and well shielded by Dodd.
Well, now this will be a massive reset required here for the Cowboys. Losing Autumn Rain like that, it'll be a tough one, but they need to just sit in their processes, get back into that arm wrestle, because we know that they've got the strike, they've got points in them, and they can do it quickly.
Brett Chester has defended well today. Good contact again on her opposing back rower, Tale Holmes. Now Wheeler up over halfway. Certainly finding the go forward easier than their opponents. And now Dodd dragged down importantly by Reeves.
She said, not on my watch.
Still rolling for Preston. What about that pass? Digging into the line, putting her body on the line to release Foliaki. Johnston trying to get the fend going, and it worked. Quick service, Penatani, ball handling exceptional. And Robinson was running out of room, so came back inside. And now the ball's come loose, and there's another Cowboy down.
Is that Jasmine Peters?
Same shoulder.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was fit. Everyone.
Yep. Unfortunately, play breaks down.
Oh, and then she plays it. So this is a penalty to the Sharks. It's that right shoulder. She had that compressed a little bit earlier in the game too. This will be a tough fix for the Cowboys if they lose another centre.
Yes, please.
Former Titan, Jazzy Peters.
What are we staying on?
Played 8 games for them last year.
This is last tackle.
Just staying on.
Oh, it's not a penalty. It's last tackle.
Are you kicking for touch or tapping? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty emphatic whistle blown by
Well,
Brenda
no, but she
Sharp.
did. But then she just said this is last tackle. So I wasn't believing my ears.
6 more for the Sharks. Johnston just happy to set things up this time. You'd expect Tonegado to be involved at some stage here. They keep it in the middle for now for Wheeler. Ball's come loose again. 28-6 right now. They
They're
can
gonna
take a
challenge
gift
this.
too.
They're going to challenge it. I read Talisha Harden's lips.
On tackle 1, we have a captain's challenge from the Cowboys. On-field decision is strip.
Try scoring opportunity too.
No, it wasn't.
Harden looking for a bailout clause there.
Good try, T.
And if you missed what she said in the act of scoring, which of course you are allowed to strip the ball and play at the ball when the opponent's trying to score. She's not too far
She was 3
out.
metres out.
There's a strip from the Cowboys player. We just need to determine how many players are in the tackle.
Only needs to be 2. There might be 4.
She ripped it out herself.
I just heard Talisha try for another argument.
Well, Saunders is still in disbelief.
If the other 3
Reeves has
dropped
her
off.
hands on her still.
You think Reeves is involved in the tackle when Wheel strips it?
Oh, I think she has her hands
Based
on
on
her.
all available angles and the live decision of the penalty
There.
strip, we'll be supporting this decision with more than 2 players in the tackle. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful.
Oh, unsuccessful. Doing that
Okay,
thing.
you'll retain your challenge.
Okay.
Yep. So we're going to go with the on-field decision of strip, but you'll retain your challenge. I'll explain to you later, Mackenzie. Time on.
You take the 2 or
You can
look
take it
for
up.
more points to
No,
improve for and
points.
against?
Keep
Yeah.
playing.
Wait for the
Points.
tap. Wait. Go. No tackles.
Wheeler, who had that ball stripped out, has another go.
1 foot. Wait.
Intercept, that's
intercept.
fair enough. Talisha Harden, very flat ball tried by Dodd.
That was huge from Talisha Harden. A massive read, big effort to get there. And she's now changed the momentum for the Cowboys. No surprise she's put her hand up nice and early in the set too to have a run to get on the front foot for her side.
It's a long pass to throw that close to the try line.
Or that flat as well. Want a little bit more depth for those ones.
Square. Wait.
They never got it to Tonegado out there on the left edge.
Last one, Tully.
That's a good run.
Malata. It's the
Oh,
last.
do they know it's last?
Dibb eventually
Oh,
gets her
no.
hands on the footy and keeps it alive. They need to chance their arm. Tillett gives it some height, but no pressure on the taker. Robinson.
Stand up together. All the way up. All the way. Wait.
Biddle.
Let go, Kira.
Quiet game by her standards, but has made more tackles than any other back and focused on defence today with 12 tackles made. Anderson scheming centre field. Playing as a middle forward with Dodd on. Tale Holmes plays her role on that left edge.
Hold, breathe, wait. Go last. Not late.
Preston. Middleton now playing on the wing after the departure with injury of Stevens Daly.
Good chase by Georgia Ravix as well. You know, in the first half when we saw that reshuffle happen on the left edge for the Cowboys, the Sharks got straight at them. Not so this half.
No, they're a little bit flat-footed in that last set of 6. They're going to have to ramp things up because the Cowboys have got some fire in their belly.
Came into today with a 1-3 record, Cronulla, but if they complete the win here, I feel like they can get some momentum going the back end of the season. They play Newcastle away, then the Broncos, Dragons and Eels to close out the 9-round home and away season.
Yeah, did you hear the joy in the home crowd then? They got themselves a penalty, finally. So I think it's sitting at 7-3. Definitely a penalty. They hung on too long there for the Sharks. And we saw them on last tackle in the last set of 6, willing to chance their arm early. Keep that ball moving.
Lock in.
So many of those Sharks penalties have been late in the tackle count, really hurting the Cowboys today. Tries coming off the back of penalties in that first half. Discipline has to be so good in the NRLW. Sarika Muka back on. Dib. Pass a little behind her. And that one hits the deck. Middleton trying to make something of it. And there's Biddle again on defensive duty. Manzelmann, a spark out of dummy. Oh! She's so quick off the mark. And the Cowboys just hanging in there.
Yeah, that was really crafty from Manzelmann. She's had a lot of effort and purpose in this second half. She just changes the pace of the game for the Cowboys. Very dangerous in and around that ruck position. But we'll see here on the Harvey Norman replay, the footy in two hands is what just causes that Sharks defensive line to hang off. You can see Taylor Preston, she jumped up a little bit too eager in that defensive line, which created space for Manzelmann to back herself and go over. But it's the territory. It was off the back of poor discipline from the Cronulla Sharks, Roo. They gifted the Cowboys an opportunity there.
Certainly did, and Manzelmann is so crafty. You can't give her any sniffs like that. You know, you spoke about that A defender, which is the first defender off the side of the ruck, shooting up too quickly, and she spots that space. But what happens as well, both markers, well, you should only really have one marker in there tight, and you need to sink in back into the line with your defensive structure. So they go out of their structure, they're the Sharks, and the Cowboys, they capitalise.
Very comfortable diving over the try line to score tries as well, Emma Manzelmann, with that swimming background. As Dib adds the extras, and suddenly it's back to a 16-point margin here. NRL finals and NRLW finals just around the corner, live and free on Nine's Wide World of Sports. You can watch it all. Business end of the season, 20 days away.
How exciting. And how exciting is it both competitions are up for grabs, really, at the moment, those final positions. Not much is locked in. Or Penrith's locked in. There might be a couple.
Newcastle Knights on a charge.
Aren't they ever? Big game this weekend too.
So 12 and a half minutes to go. Cronulla have got some heartbreaking losses this season. This would top the lot if they let the Cowboys back in. North Queensland have the ability to finish over the top of opponents. So look out as Sarika Muka brings it back. Oh,
That was forward.
Touchy has weighed in, I think. No. Well, you cannot turn a blind eye to forward passes like that, surely.
Well, she stayed in position on the sideline, so I thought that she had put the call in, it was forward. But the Cowboys now, they get the rub of the coin here.
Wheel. Oh, terrific run. Still two more tackles off the back of points here. Tillett for Dib. No look pass, trying to split them. Ralph Smith forced it out the back, and Dib kept it alive, knocked it back. So she's out of play. Someone else has to take over, and it's Tillett to go high. Crossfield chases. Have their eyes on the footy. It's left behind. 6 more coming up. Peters set sail for the corner, and the Cowboys denied. Was that advantage, or do they get the ball back here?
They'll get the ball back.
He's still in pain with that right
I've got no touch.
shoulder, collarbone.
Just confirm there's no touch,
Jasmine
please.
Peters.
Got no grounding here.
Yeah, I think there's no grounding here, but you saw the Cowboys just wildly gesticulating. They thought it was high, the contact, so the bunker will have a look at that.
Interesting one on the advantage call as well. The knock-on happens 8 metres out, and then she comes so close to scoring a try. So is that an advantage or not?
Well, when it went up to the bunker, Belinda said she didn't think there was a touch. I thought it touched her right thumb there.
Ball is now knocked on from the Cronulla player, restarting the tackle count.
Fans like that one. Gosh, she's got some pace. Yeah.
Interesting. What's that going to lead to for Penatani?
Could this be a penalty try?
The hand touches the touchline, however, we have high contact from the Cronulla player, which will result in a penalty. We have a decision.
Not 10 in the bin, not a penalty try, just the penalty.
Yep. Just short of the line, is it?
While that's been going on, we're going to see a penalty being blown here for the Cowboys. We've just got word that
Come on.
Autumn Rain Stevens-Daly is suspected ACL.
It didn't look good.
No.
Someone that's done 4 ACLs did not look good.
I've never done an ACL, but
You
that
wouldn't
one
wish
looked
it,
like the
you
worst.
would not wish it upon anyone. It's an awful injury.
9 to 12 months of rehab.
Wait for it.
We wish her well on the road to recovery, if that is indeed the final prognosis. So just a penalty. 6 more tackles here for the Cowboys. Need 3 tries at least in the last 11 minutes. Wheel keeps on trying.
Hey, let go, let go, let go.
I like those little goal line plays, the Cowboys. We see another one here. Oh, that's gone forward. I like these little trick shots on the line, Fergo.
Yeah, they're trying to go through
Scrum
them,
in the middle.
not take this Cronulla Sharks side on for pace or width. It works well when you get it right. That wasn't done right. The one before it was okay with Wheel and her leg work, her leg drive, but can only ever do, I think, one, but a couple a set, really.
That was a back-to-back one, too.
Probably not ideal.
No, we saw them. I like the one they did last week with April Natapuna, came around the back on that little sniper play.
Clock off.
I don't mind when they do it to set up for something off the back of it. What I would have loved to have seen was to get some depth off the back of that first one, and then Tallulah Tillett and Kira did get some depth in their attacking line and a little bit more shape.
Wait. Let up. Mark is straight. Hold.
Seri Naitoka Toka.
Kenzie, move.
Real live wire off the bench. Plenty going on, and Mackenzie Wheel's been in the bad books today.
So it's ruck interference.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be an error against the Sharks, that one.
You want a challenge?
So they're going to challenge this.
Liam, got a captain's challenge from the Cowboys. On-field decision is ruck interference, and it's an incorrect play the ball.
As the Cronulla player rises to her feet and plays the ball, the Cowboys player then comes back through the ruck. The challenge is unsuccessful.
There you go.
I think I'm on it here. No.
Frustrating day for Mackenzie Wheel and the Cowboys, so far as the whistle has been concerned.
I think she's conceded 3. She's normally such a tidy player for them.
3 of the 8.
On now.
Sarah Karoy, who started back out there in the 14 jumper. Reef that one away. Saunders held on, and Naitoka Toka, I think she's going to have something to say about the last 8 minutes here. Looking dangerous already. Foliaki.
Emma, let go. Here, come on. Wait. Go for it.
More depth and shape to that left-hand side. That's where they're headed. Big hit. Muka. Kept alive by Penatani. Look at that footwork again. Jada Taylor. Oh, brilliant! Quincy Dodd backs up the fullback, rolls reversed if you like, and the Cronulla Sharks racking up the points today, their best output all season.
Well, again, Jada Taylor, that was outstanding decision-making from her, because we'll have another look at it here on the Harvey Norman replay, but it wasn't all going swimmingly for the Cronulla Sharks. This late shot, but a ball to Emma Tonegato's feet, which meant that next pass wasn't necessarily on. But Jada Taylor, have a look what she does here. She uses her footwork to get back on the inside, and that last little bit of late footwork and a lovely little offload to a great supportive run, mind you, from Quincy Dodd back on the inside. She knows what Jada Taylor is capable of, so to keep up with the pace in which she did that. But it's the footwork and the decision-making here from Jada Taylor. That pace is just too hard to defend against.
The push support for me, is what makes that try. Like, if she's not there, that try doesn't happen. So I'm pretty sure Tony Herman will be very, very happy with that too. And it's a lot of this is just understanding what the players around you bring. And you know that if Jada Taylor has the ball, you flood that middle. You just flood and you push, and you'll come up with something on the end of it. And Quincy Dodd comes up with 4 points.
What a freak of a mover Jada Taylor is. Imagine trying to defend her. Imagine trying to lay a hand on her when she's got the lateral movement and the stepping.
Well, that's why she's so dangerous in the middle of the field, because she quite often comes up against mismatched opponents. She's quite often running against those forwards that don't necessarily move as fast as she does, particularly not sideways. She's a very clever player.
Beat Canberra with 28 points in round one. Now they're up to 34, and Taylor Preston matches the record for most goals kicked in an NRLW game with 5 now. And Quincy Dodd has 8 tries. Great record for a dummy half. Don't forget, the West Tigers against the Dragons is coming up immediately after this game. Very short break between full-time here and then kick off in that one. And then the Titans against the Roosters will be game 3 of our NRLW triple header. Another exciting Saturday of footy, Alana.
So exciting. How good is it? Another 3 games of rugby league to go after this.
We're just seeing that notification pop up at the bottom of the screen there. Sarika Muka is on report for that high shot. Or that late shot, sorry, on Chloe Saunders.
You were raving about it. What did you make of it? Did it look late to you?
I didn't think it looked late. It just looked like it hurt.
That's what got you excited.
But I'm a sicko. I like those ones. But well, obviously that one will be examined a little more closely.
Cronulla rolling again. Nice ball handling, juggle-wise by Johnston. Look out for Jada Taylor late in this tackle count, as Butler keeps it in the middle for now. So they keep it in the hands. Preston does just that. Oh, look out. Foliaki ran into Kira Dibb, and maybe they weren't quite sure what tackle it was.
With me here.
No, I think I would have preferred to have seen a nice finish there, a kick. Or if we're going to run it on last, it'd be nice to sort of shift it out wide and really test the edge defence there, especially since that left edge for the Cowboys is unsettled through the injury. Three-game losing streak coming to an end today for the Cronulla Sharks. Such a tight ladder as we enter round 5 today. Remember, 9 rounds, and then the top 4 in this 10-team comp will play finals as Manzelmann dazzles them in the middle again. Stepped around Butler like she wasn't there, and it took Taylor to stop her. Now the shift to the right-hand edge for Rafstrand Smith, and Peters with that trademark right foot step. That'll be in the video analysis heading into games against the Cowboys. Nice service here for Dibb. Bouncing one away from Taylor and too deep again.
Yeah, another one that's been a little bit too heavy on foot from Kira Dibb. The kick option was okay. The grubber through, just a little bit too much weight behind it.
Oh, Andy Robinson this time. And Fran Goldthorpe good enough to make that one-on-one tackle. Here's Biddle's chance to find some metres. Look at that run.
Space just opened up out of nowhere. Cowboys miscalculated their numbers.
There's more points here, even though there's 3.5 minutes to go. These Sharks are just on top of the ground today.
Well, it's the 3rd tackle, and that's the 20-metre line, which is just run over. So that kick from Kira Dibb that she got wrong, that rolled dead, that's been very costly.
Tale Holmes. Oh, lovely ball. Here she is. Seri Naitoka able to start the celebrations very early there.
Do you think she liked that one? Did you see the smile on her face as she crossed that try line? Seri Naitoka. You did speak about this, Speedy. You thought there was plenty of promise in her game, and on the Harvey Norman replay, this middle's interchange of passing, A lovely little shift there. Tale Holmes does brilliantly to get that offload away under plenty of scrutiny from the Cowboys defence. And Nai Toka Toka, again, his push support, very impressive from the Sharks today.
Yeah, it was such a nice little combination between those two players, Nai Toka Toka and Tale Holmes. Gosh, she is pumped, and so she should be. Great impact off the bench. She's brought significant intensity and foot speed to the way that the Sharks play, but chuffed with that one. That's what you want from your bench players. But those last 2 tries for the Cronulla Sharks, they've turned into points because of their great support and push play off the back of it. They're not letting go of that football and just backing off, making sure she's staying in the contest. I think the combinations from some of these Sharks women, both the starting team and the players coming off the bench, is what's proved one of the really big differences in today's game.
The joy of scoring a first career try, written all over the face of Seri Nai Toka Toka. And now into the record books goes Taylor Preston, first goal kicker to nail 6 shots in an NRLW game. But it was a tough start for her in her career at the Parramatta Eels, but looks to have found a home at Cronulla.
Yeah, she has, and she's a good little teammate too. She's a character. She's very much a character. Training this week, I jumped in and did some stuff with the girls at training, and as I put the opposition bib on, she says, "Uh-oh, look out, the dinosaurs are here."
Lippy. She's always been Lippy. Comes from a great family too. All lived and breathed footy for their whole lives. You can tell by the way Taylor plays her rugby league that she's lived and breathed footy her whole life. Oh, she could have got this one wrong.
Oh, it's just perfect.
Perfect.
That's an ideal kickoff under the rules until you go across the sideline.
In the touch. Play the ball, Cronulla.
And the Sharks wind up with the footy, but that's perfect because the opposition just has to watch the ball bounce. They can't touch it until it's gone, the 10 either, so it was tough on Tale Holmes here.
No, and there was lots of urgency shown there by China Pilata, but the Sharks were just able to hold off and shovel her over the sideline there.
Well, they've done really well to contain China Pilata today. She's only had 5 runs for 58 metres. Usually we see her charging and being one of the leaders in those metres run, so a really good job for that edge to contain China Pilata.
And they've had to, also they've only kept April Natakuna to 50 metres. She normally charges through a fair bit of work there, so Sharks have done their homework.
Nice. Play up the middle again, switching sides from Quincy Dodd. Back in the starting lineup today, and looks like it's that number 9 jumper for hers to keep throughout the rest of the season, the way she's performed, as Preston goes to Robinson chiming in as the fullback now, and on the outside, the debutant Ravix keeps on going. Oh my word! No foot into touch, and Georgia Ravix out of nowhere has a double on debut.
Stop it.
Or does she?
They're going to have another look at it here.
We have no try. Checking touchline, please.
Look, I would believe that there had to have been a foot that went out somewhere.
Something. That was insane.
That is ridiculous. If she manages to stay in, this is ridiculous.
Here we go.
Whose boots are who?
You got to look for the yellow.
Georgia has the yellow soles.
Keeping them
She's
up.
in.
Keeping them up.
Still in.
What?
It's this left foot.
Keeping them
In.
up.
She's in.
Right foot.
Oh,
In. In.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's borderline.
I need the other angle. I reckon there's
Just
a
looking for
blade
the
of
touch
grass
and touching
in it.
goal line.
It's right by the corner flag.
The
No,
player
no.
places her
Yeah,
foot
toe
on
on
the
the line.
touching goal line,
Wow.
Man,
which is
that
out.
was
We have a
close.
decision.
That was close.
20-metre tap for the Cowboys with 35 seconds
no
to go.
try. 20 metre. 20 metre.
Well,
20
it's
metre.
going to end up no try, 20
metre.
metres. The Cowboys get the footy back. But what an outstanding game for Ravix to come on and debut. In her, that try in the first half was not too dissimilar from this. She had a lot of work to do and just so willing to pretty much run straight over whoever's in front of her. But an exceptional debut.
How strong is she?
Stand up, Brooke!
She's just so strong.
Strong and gutsy too.
Love it.
And does it show that some players mature as the season goes on, and they don't necessarily stand out in the 7 weeks of pre-season, but then they can find their spot as the season unfolds.
It certainly does, and it creates good headaches for the coaches as well. You know, she had an outstanding Harvey Norman premiership season as well. So, yeah, I think this is a great showing for Georgia Rabbits.
Takarangi today, who is playing first 4 rounds. Oh, that's a handy ricochet. Foliaki, look to your support. She's pinning the inbound. Here's back. She's on the treadmill. Goes to Biddle eventually. Oh, dragged short. Siren sounds. Well done, Cowboys, for chasing that one down. They should have scored, but they come up just short. They have 40 points, though. And Cronulla are right back in the conversation. Improved to 2 and 3 this season and thrashed the Cowboys here by 40 points to 12.